Hey guys, it's Aisa Forest Naturals, and this is going to be the very first video in my series for new naturals. And those are people who have just gone natural or are thinking about it and kind of want to know what it's all about. So, looking at my hair, it's not much to see, I can guarantee you that. It is pretty much a mess. It is very tangled. I had it up in a protective style. It's extremely greasy looking, but really dry anyway. So I don't know how you can be so oily and yet so dry, but the oil's all on the outside of the hair and it's very tangled, to say the least. So I have quite a bit of buildup and stuff over here, so I'm gonna basically have to start all over and wash this mess. But prior to washing, I'm going to have to do a little bit something extra, and that extra is called pre-pooing. So what is pre-pooing exactly? Well, it's something that you add, use, or do to your hair prior to shampoo, and it's usually for the purposes of adding extra moisture or helping to detangle, which, as you can see, I need some help with. Okay, so exactly how does this whole detangling thing go? I mean, what are you supposed to do? Well, you use something such as an oil, like a coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, castor oil, whatever oil you choose, or a conditioner. I know a lot of people go gaga for Hello Hydration from Herbal Essences, although I don't use it anymore, so that's an old bottle. But basically, if you're going to be using a conditioner, you need something with slip. And what that means is you want a conditioner that allows your fingers to glide through your hair pretty smoothly to help you get rid of tangles, or helps you to get your comb through your hair smoothly. So that would help the tangles to come loose just a little bit more easily, hopefully. So you can get your oils together or your conditioner, and okay, when you have a great big bush like this, you're gonna need to put your hair into workable sections, because I guarantee you this right here will get you overwhelmed. So I like to separate my hair into workable sections of 4. If you have thicker hair, because I actually have fine, thin strand hair, and I'll show you a video about that a little later on, I can opt to use 4. But some people may choose to use more sections so that they can be smaller sections, so they won't have so much to deal with all at once. Now, once you have a section, you go on ahead, you can twist it, or you don't have to twist it or whatever, but you do need it to be separated from the other hair, like I said, into a workable section. You can keep it separated with this, which is a duckbill clip, I think they call it, and just clip that out of the way. Or usually when people are washing hair and things like that, they usually go on ahead and use these plastic sort of clips, plastic clips that you can pick up at the beauty supply store or probably Sally's or whatever. You see that big ball of hair hanging there? Okay. And I'm gonna go on through and separate this last section. Alrighty then. So I've got it into my 4 sections, and I'm gonna start with this section just because the front might give a false sense of ease, because my hair is a little straighter and easier to deal with in the front. You might not get just how tangled this stuff is if I don't start where my tangles are the most intense. Okay, so I separated the section to make it just a little bit smaller, which means, hey, I probably don't use 4 sections. Okay, so you can hear that or even see that hair is still stuck together, and my hair, like I said, is pretty oily. So what I'm going to do first is wet the section. So I got some water in my little spray bottle, and I'm going to need it to be pretty nicely drenched. Oh. This would also work if you just happen to be, I guess, already in the shower, and you could just wet your hair all over overall. So what I'm doing is just making sure that the water gets all the way into my hair so that it's nice and wet. And you can see all this hair on my hand, and these are all my shed hairs. Your hair sheds, they say, up to 100 strands per day, so don't really worry about it unless they're tiny little pieces that are breaking off. Alright, and I'm going to be using coconut oil. I've heard some really awesome things about pre-pooing with it specifically, so that is why I'm using it. And yes, I am using one of those little mustard squeezy bottles, because you can get 2 of these for $1 at the dollar store, the red one and the yellow. Yay! Okay, so to my wet hair, I'm going to apply my oil. I'm going to apply a lot of it because I need it to soften it, and I need it to help my fingers to glide through. Now, for detangling, which is what I really use this for, there can be several methods that you can use. Now you can finger detangle, which is what I'm doing, which is just trying to get my fingers through my hair and any hairs that may be all completely tangled together or wrapped together. But what you're really trying to do is get rid of those tangles and get rid of any of these shed hairs. These hairs can be very, very, very dangerous on your natural hair, because once they get tangled in, they can wrap around your other strands and just cause tremendous knots and tangling, which will rip out other hairs that you intended to keep on your head. So you just go through very gently, trying to separate any tangles by just pulling the hairs apart until you get out whatever is holding them together, which is usually a shed hair. Or it could be one of the hairs that isn't shed, that's on your head, and it just happened to wrap around another strand. So this would be called finger detangling, and it works out pretty well for getting rid of a lot of the shed hairs and for getting out the basic larger tangles. And then most people would probably opt for a hair tool, such as a comb. If you're going to be using a comb, you're going to need a wide tooth comb or pick of some sort. And you start from the ends, because if you start from up here and you have a tangle down here, you're just going to rip it right out, right? So you want to start here to make sure that you get the tangle out at its little source, and you move up towards the scalp until all of the hair is free of tangles. That is nice. And you still continue to remove any hairs that are loose, because you don't want them there. I know we've been taught, hold on to every hair. It really, really matters, but it really doesn't. It is dead, it is not attached to your head, and it's just going to cause you tangles. And then I go ahead and twist it up and out of the way. Wow, my hair feels awesome. And can I tell you guys, this is my first time using just pure coconut oil for pre-pooing, and I'm really glad that I did it. So I'm going to try one more section with you guys. But before I do, here's some other things that you can detangle with. Okay, first up is the Denman. The Denman brush is basically any brush that looks like this, except this is a knockoff. Denman is a name brand product. So this, I believe I got from the supermarket, or it may be Conair. The name is rubbed off or anything. But any of the brushes that you look like this, people swear by them, and they really love detangling, especially in the shower with these. And as you can see, they come with more teeth. This one had 3 additional rows of teeth that I removed by basically taking this thing out and taking the teeth out and popping it right back in. I did that so that it would be less friction on my hair, because that's way too many teeth, too many things coming in contact with my hair. Unfortunately, I have opted to not use this because I have very fine hair, and it's a little harsh, so I wind up losing a lot of hair with this. Another product that lots of people swear by, but I have opted to never even give a try, is the Tangle Teezer, and I have a picture of it right here. And that's supposed to just ease right on through your curls and all that stuff, but I guess I must not have any curls, because I don't know, it just looks dangerous. There were an adequate amount of people who reported damage, breaking and tearing and stuff, and they're probably people with fine hair such as myself. So I'm gonna opt for keeping it simple, basically using my fingers and a very, very wide tooth comb. So on to this next section. And for those of you who may just be tuning in, no, she is not putting mustard on her hair. This is coconut oil, and I'm putting it on the entire strand of my hair. And it makes it just instantly soft, and the slip is great. I can just feel my fingers coming through those knots and tangles, making it much, much easier to separate this hair. But if you do come to a tangle that is very, very, very tangled, you need to stop. Stop what you're doing and work on the tangle very carefully and very patiently, so as not to rip and yank out your hair because it's pissing you off. So don't let your hair piss you off. And every so often, just go on ahead and, ooh, another tangle. All right, came right off. And wipe that hair that you get onto a towel or something that you rub your hands on, so that you're not putting those hairs back onto your other free, already detangled hair, causing it more damage or to get tangled all over again. Now that was a tangle, okay? Okay, so now I'm done, and I have a head completely full of completely detangled hair. And that is awesome for me. So if you were doing this just purely for the detangling factor, you can go on ahead with your next step, which for me would be washing. But if you're more interested in doing this for its moisturizing capabilities and or benefits, then I suggest you slap on a plastic cap and let this baby sit on your hair for, I don't know, as long as you want, I suppose. I hear that coconut oil becomes very moisturizing, penetrating the strand at 10 hours. I'm not going to wait that long, but I am going to allow it to sit for a little while before I go on to washing. So I hope that you have enjoyed this pre-poo / detangling video. And until the next time, I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Stay tuned for the washing and conditioning video.